of the Guru, and you were called Bibi Bani. In the record of 521 years of Sikh history, nobody earned that title, nor will. And the power of your words can heal a dead man. The funny part of it is, you have problems and complications. That amazes the yogi in his own surprise. No human has sung Guru Bani as you have, and nobody knows Guru Bani as you know, and nobody knows the power of the Guru's words as you know. I want to be sitting in the Guru's house, and I want to go on record as Sri Singh Sahib of the Sikh Dharma, Western Hemisphere. The status given to you by the Guru is more than I wish. I'm jealous of it. I'm angry on it. I should have that. Well, you know, I just sweat and work. All you have to do is just sing one shabad and carry the whole universe. Isn't something a favor he does to woman, every woman in the world? God is prejudiced. I work 22 hours and you can do it in 22 minutes. And that is worth being jealous. I don't know how to be jealous, but I'm pretending to express my discontent. This morning I was thinking there are a lot of things I don't know how to do. And a lot of things I know how to do. There are a lot of things I don't know how to do. So, nobody is complete. But anyway, I'm supposed to serve the Sangat, excuse me. I just want to pay my gratitude. Teri mere da bolna tudhe aage ardas Guru, Guru, Vaheguru, Guru Ramdas Aad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Sri Guru Deve Name. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. In Sikh Dharma, there are 4 stages. It is science and art, and it took 10 gurus to explain it, and then everything what the 10 explained was piled in Sri Guru Granth, where 35 other men of God combined their effort to complete it. So Sri Guru Granth is a compilation of at one moment in the planet where all men, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Gurus and Bhagtas and those who had that status at that time, their words were compiled. That's why we bow to it. There are 4 stages of a Sikh. Human, basic human, that's the foundation. Then as a human, when he has the courage and the capacity and the power to learn, to complete, to produce, to march, to advance, then he obeys. And you cannot obey if you don't listen. That's why in Japji there are 4 paudis of Suniye and 4 paudis on Maniye. 4 aspects of that has been explained. First you have to learn to listen. If you listen properly, if you listen attentively, if you listen creatively, if you listen with concentration, immediately your brain computer will give you the answer. Plan, strategy, layout. It will show you the unseeable. It will lay out to you the unknown. It has the capacity. Human brain has that capacity, provided you know how to listen. Then you obey the command to move. And if you have the capacity to obey, it means you accept. That's why what obeying is. You understand, so you stand under. That's what it is. Then your own brain has the capacity to produce it, complete it, and give you success. Nobody else comes outside. If you think somebody outside can just help you, somebody can serve you, somebody who's specialized can take care of you. But some people who are very special charge a lot of money, and most of the time you can't afford. Some people who are special, they charge a lot of money and take a lot of time, and still you are not sure it's going to be perfect. But what your own brain can do for you is always going to be perfect, provided it is trained to listen and trained to accept. Which is what a Sikh is. First is a human. Everybody first, God gave you one identity. As a woman and a man, He made you a human. Human means, Hu means light, Man means mind, and being, for the time being, you are the light, mental light of that infinity called God. My subject today is happiness, prosperity, and bliss. And I'll cover it scientifically. I'm not going to waste your time. I'll be sharp, go through it fast, small and slow, and sweet and quick. That's what preface I'm giving you. First is human. Then when human starts obeying, starts listening, then he becomes a Sikh. When he becomes a Sikh, then he has to proceed further. He becomes a Singh. When he or she conquers his beast, that's what lion is, Singha. One who's the lord of all the beasts. Singha, Singh. When you conquer your beast, you have not two things. You have no anger, you have no fear, and you have no vengeance. This fear and vengeance comes from anger. And if you don't have anger, Agan Granthi in you, and you totally, one guy was telling me, I don't want anger. I said, why not? He said, I don't want it. I said, it means you don't have a stomach, you don't have a circulation, you can't digest your food. I said, this is also the part of that Agan Granthi, Hirday Chakra. He said, what should I do with anger? I said, don't do anything, just be angry. He said, I'm angry at the whole world. I said, no. Just be angry at yourself that you are stupid and you are not using your brain. That's what you should be angry at. There's no other place to be angry. Your brain didn't calculate it right. It didn't intuitively solve the problem. It does not project proper. And you falter, big deal. Tell your brain to do it again. And do it again. Rely on it. God gave it to you. In this skull, it is not a cantaloupe over your shoulders. And sometimes your head goes like a watermelon, filled with water and sweet, nothing in it. We call them spaced outs. And sometimes it just becomes a little peach. And that means it has shrunk to the point. All it's want to be eaten. You change your head in many shapes without knowing what you are doing. However, when you become a Singh, when you have conquered your beast and you have no vengeance, and you have no fear. You become pure. It is the piety and the purity which is God. Then you become Khalsa. These are 4 stages. And somebody asked me yesterday, I want to be a Khalsa. Is there a quick way? You know, people ask those questions. I say yes. There's a one quickest way. Quick and short. He said, what is that? I say, everything you think, you do, you plan, you listen, anything, just put a touchstone in yourself. Is it pure? What you're eating, is it pure? What you're giving out, is it pure? If you're counseling, are you pure? If you're listening, is it a pure thing? Is making you purer? Your character, your projection, your behavior, your understanding, your way of life, your talk, your walk, your shape, your form. Is it pure? Immediately he said, it means I cannot shave my beard? I said, no, I can give you $50. Buy a beautiful Gillette blade. I don't care. There's a new sensor blade available for $50. You mean you are telling me that I can shave my beard? I said, yeah, you shave your head, you shave your beard, you shave the whole thing. I don't care. I don't understand you. I said, yeah. If you want to be pure, then ask God one question. Did God created you impure? And if God has created you impure and told you, go and improve on me, go ahead, do it. Otherwise, be what God wanted you to be. He said it's very difficult. I said, no, it is not. Question in life, in your all life is one question. All other questions have no value. Main question is to be, not to be. To be your way or God's way. Not to be your way or God's way. Answer what Sikh Dharma tells is, let it be. Let it be God's way. That's all it is. If you read economics and you do PhD, or you're masters like me, you get into it, you'll find 3 words in economics. Economics used to be called political economy. Politics as a science, as economics as a science, was part of that, and it was called a political economy. We who studied in the early time, earlier than us the batch came, they used to study it as political economy. In our time, it was a political science and economics. Because they separate it as 2 sciences. They don't call economics as an art. Economics is a science. Political science is not an art. It's called political science. But political science is based on economics, and economics is based on political science. They are so interrelated that they cannot be participated separately. They have to be participated at the same time. That means our prosperity, that means our way of life, that means our standard of life, that means our power, our influence, our projection, our situation, our strategy. There are 2 million aspects of life. There are 84 aspects, and there are 72 facets of life, which must be calculated in 1 trillionth, 0.1 trillionth time of a second by your brain. Your brain capacity is 30 trillion megacycle calculations per 1 0 point of a second. That's how fast human brain is. Because you know why? This human brain is the central control office. And it deals with 30 trillion electrons, protons, and neutrons. 30 trillion. Our body has 10 trillion atoms in us. Each atom has 3 parts. So there are 30 trillion parts. This brain deals with it. When it goofs, you get cancer, you get diabetes, you get God knows how many things you get. All diseases are that your control center has goofed. It did not send the reinforcement when the cells wanted it. When the cells wants the reinforcement, the control command center does not send the reinforcement. You are diseased, uneasy you become. It's called disease. Also in your prosperity and social life, you get diseased. You get unfulfilled. You get bored. You get bored with your life. You get bored with your work. You are just a big black board. You are nothing more than a board. Because anything you do, after a while it becomes a custom with you. It becomes a routine with you. And all it becomes later on is a bored. And one wonderful thing is, I am bored. Second, I am depressed. Third, I am unhappy. Fourth, I don't know. When I came in America 22 years ago, I was shocked. I used to become pale when somebody say, I don't know. I say, oh my God. What? What you said, honey? My dear, what you said? Yes, I don't know. That's how I used to breathe. I said, this guy is a human? Really? And he says, I don't know? How can it be? We are born in the image of God. We are gods. Guru Gobind Singh says, Khalsa mera Satguru pura. It means we lack purity. That's why we don't know. So there are 3 words in economics: brain, bran, and bullion. Bullion means gold, wealth. Brand means territory, power, influence, reach. Or in other words, we commonly know, nobody uses this word brand, but we call it brass. This is the army's brass. I mean, this is something which it hold, it doesn't matter what. The cannons and artillery, and it's called brass. It's the central nucleus part which is powerful in the army. So brain, when you have a brain, you want 2 things. You don't want God. God got rid of you by giving you a brain. You must understand that's a compromise you made. You got rid of God and God got rid of you because you were such a pure soul. Gur kirpate bhakt kumai tae manas dehi pai is dehi ko simre dev. Angels worship this body. You got this body with brain intact. Though you use only 3%, doesn't matter. 90-70% waste. But it was given for a purpose. So it is there. You don't have to go and buy a brain in the market and then tug it in your head. You can't do that. It's already there. There's a purpose for it. There's a purpose of long hair on the head. There's a purpose of man growing beard and woman not. I know how painful it is for a woman when she starts growing beard. And I know how painful it is for a man when he doesn't have a beard. But when you have, you don't care. If your brain is only 3%, you would have cared a lot. But you don't care, 97% is going waste. And out of those 3%, some of you only use 1.2, 2.3 max. And we call it high IQ. how stupid we are. We have accepted everything. But however, you have a brain, and you have a brass, bullion. When you have a brain, you need two things. You need territory to be recognized, identified, and acknowledged. And you want bullion, money does what money does to accomplish your ambition. There are two easy ways to do it. One is, you do it. Go ahead. Or, apply your mind, let God do it. Guru Nanak brought a different thought. He said, let God do it. Hukam razain chalana, Nanak likhya na. Let us accept the will of God. Over what? Let us accept the will of God over our will. Let us de-will ourselves, devil. When we are in our will, God's will shall not prevail. When we are in our will, we shall be in command. When we let God will prevail, then God shall be in command. And then God has three aspects, G-O-D, God, one who generates, one who organizes, one who delivers and destroys. So if God destroys us, He will accept us. If He delivers us, He will give us assignment. But that assignment will be divine. So it serves both ways. So my aspect to talking to you is, you need prosperity. You need position. You need identity. You need a lot of things. Go home. Make a list what you want. And answer one question of mine. All those things you want, have you accepted them in God? You know why we accept God as a boss, almighty and all that? Not out of imagination. Because we all know we live by the prana. And pranapati, the master of that prana, is something unknown to us. So that unknown we start calling God. Muslim call it Allah. Other call Jehovah. It's going on. It will never end. Look at these religions. There are 8 religions in the world. You all know that, right? First religion is Judaism in the West, right? All right. What do they say? What is God to them? Yehovah. So the sound word is Yah. And then comes the Christian. Hallelujah. The sound is Ha. Right? And then comes the Muslim. La ilaha. Sound is La. Then comes these Hindus, out of which everything else came out. And they're called Ram. Sound is Ra. And then came Nanak, he said Satnam, so it is Sa. So all they are, it's aspirin with different brands. Its job is to remove the headache, that's all, to relax the person. Religion is the science of reality and art of life. When it's a science of reality, you become great. When it's become art of life, you become happy. You become prosperous. You can become virtuous. That is the power each person has. And that is in you. But you are trying to earn your livelihood. You are not trying to learn or earn your livinghood. You are a mess under the hood. The only person who used his brain was Robin Hood. After that, man never used his brain. You all want pots and pan. Why don't you learn from Peter Pan? It's all easy. In West you have so many things, so many little stories, which I have learned in 22 years. It is totally Western what Guru Nanak said. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Why do you sleep early? Somebody called me that day, I can't sleep at all. I said, read Kirtan Sola. Next morning I said, how was the sleep? She said, I feel so guilty. I said, what happened? I couldn't complete Kirtan Sola. You sir, I got up, the gutka was on my chest. I said, far out. No pills, no pills. No doctor, no doctor. Kirtan Sola? She said, Kirtan Sola, I'm going to read every night. I say, if you just do not be enough with Kirtan Sola, start Sukhmani. You'll sleep 24 times. Why? Why these banis are very tranquilizing? The highest tranquilizer ever created by man on earth for divinity and for infinity is Gurbani. Is penetrating, is powerful, and there's no difference. It takes away all this stress. Why? Is a simple science. When you read Gurbani, you read it with tongue. Tongue is called Harlingam, because it is a capacity, this part of the body, it can pronounce God's name. There are two things which are called hurling. One is tori, you call it zucchini. The other is a human tongue. It's called hurling too. And when you chant with this tongue, you touch 84 meridian points on the upper palate on which there is a hypothalamus. The moment the hypothalamus gets activated, it sets up the neurons, medulla and cerebral and this and that. The entire motor gets activated right. And you're fine. You have nothing to worry. You have nothing to go to. You are complete. ये जग सच्चे की है कोठड़ी, इसमें सच्चे का है वास. This universe is the house of the true one, and true one lives in it. That's what I say. If you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. And you are God. God created the vegetation to teach you absolute obedience. God created the animal kingdom to teach you live and let live and harmony. God created you for two things. Either you mess yourself and miss the chance, or you will make it. अब की बार जाई तो छूटे, फिर ना ही आवे हाथ. बख्शो 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 जगन्नाथ is the basic scripture. And people say quick, Hari Har, Hari Har, Hari Har Hari. मेरी बेर क्यों देर इतनी करी? God, creative, Hari, Har. God, creative God. The green God, the Hari God. Hari means green also. Hari means creative God. It also means Maya. The God of Maya, the real God. Why you are delaying in my case? Do it fast. And funniest part of this Hindu religion, which I like the most, is they will never give you mantra all their life. You have to really do so many weird, hardest, inhuman things sometimes to get to it. Just understand, a jnani can get one mantra. Omkara, that's all. That's all he'll get. He has to sit down, ladies and gentlemen, put hot ash on his body, then he has to take two wooden those things which you eat, Chinese eat. What do you call them? Chopsticks. And he has to pull all his hair, because hair is the divine energy, and symbolically it is that, not it, scientifically it is. It is the purest protein. It is heavy protein contained on the skull. If you understand your hair, you understand everything. What is in you, all is in your hair. Few hairs can totally give you record of your whole health, body, and whole faculty. Now, this jnani sits himself voluntarily and pulls all hair from his body, head and beard. Period. If he does it all with that hot air, hot ash, and he doesn't see or doesn't show the symptom or sign on his face that he is in pain, sign, not he utters or not, sign, then they give him mantra, and that is Omkara. I have a lot of Jaini friends. You know, the guy who's here. And whenever I meet him, I say, Omkara. He says, secret mantra. I say, yeah. Guru Nanak said it, Ek Omkar, to whole universe and it's still secret. Huh? You got it. No. You got all. You have been given all. You are all complete. You think you are small. In English, if you smell small, S-M-A-L-L, it contains all. As she contains he, woman contains man, female contains male. As sun reflects through moon, as psyche reflects through magnetic field, and magnetic field with the ray of the sun reflects the psyche. You have Vaheguru mantra, Va, Vahe, Va, He, Guru, water, prana, and sun, light. 3 elements makes this Trikudi mantra. Va, I always tell you, don't quick it. There's a Guru mantra. Just say it once. Va, He, Guru. Just say it nicely. It will work. Some people say, why it doesn't work? When you speak, you don't listen to your words. In the beginning there was a word was with God, and word was God. Listen to your own words. Tune your ears. Moment you can listen to your own sound, between you and divinity, there's not much difference. Own divinity lies in your own word. It gives you your own infinity and own reality. Passions, feelings, insecurities, imaginations, all okay. Keep them and suffer with them. God bless you. That's not my problem. If you are bent upon suffering, go ahead. And if you want to be happy, you want to be healthy, you want to be prosperous, you want to be fulfilled, you understand Ananda, the bliss, then do simple things. Be yourself. In the beginning are you, in the middle is you, and the end it is you. Where is the problem? In the beginning you depend on your parents, and you depend on your friends, and you depend on your colleges and universities and your education and your statuses, your territories. In the middle you depend on your family, your children, your future, your pension and blah blah blah. In the end you depend upon Bird Pya Upar Saksan, then you depend all what you have done for others, you should be repaid. Now I ask you a simple intelligent question. Aren't you the biggest stupid? God gave you everything, you didn't return anything to Him, you think you did to all these people, they are going to return to you? Don't you understand what you're doing? And then you return to God, and in 65, 75, 25, 30 years, you have forgotten that. Which way to go? Is there more insanity than this? Is there more non-reality? You live in the image of God than this? In 25, 35, 65, 75, 105 earthly years, you have forgotten your gain of zillions and zillions and zillion earthly years. You have forgotten not your soul, you have forgotten the sole purpose of life. Soul you forget or not, it doesn't bother. But when you forget the sole purpose of life, it will totally nail you down. You passionate, blind, insensitive human being, you are born to be sensitive, absolutely intuitive, and you have got all living units in you which can serve you. God, the complete, the perfect one, made you in His own image, and He made you perfect. Perfect cannot make anything imperfect. Therefore, not to take the blame of perfection and imperfection, He always creates things in two. Darkness and light, perfect and imperfect, and gave you a will. You know how clever God is. Sometimes I talk to Him, I say, what is wrong with you? He said, nothing. I say, you are wrong. Why? I say, you create a man in His own image and then gave him his will. Well, I gave him his will so he can find my will. I say, again that ego. You want to find from this little thing? This little thing is never going to find what your will is. He said, okay, let them go to circle. I said, why? He said, I want to enjoy the circus, three-ring circus. Don't you enjoy it? I say, I know. He said, well, you're not coming home. Okay, stick there. Okay. I mean, say, war is going on, that's okay. That's not the problem. I try to go, he said, no. I said, why not? He said, you are not complete yet. I said, what's wrong with me? Well, you just start sometime talking about me. I said, well, that's what call is the reality. He said, no. I like to hear good things, not the way you speak. I said, okay. I say, even I choked up your throat, you still start talking. That's fine. That's okay, that's my pain. Yeah, you know, every doctor told me, don't speak. Then I told them, I don't want to speak. They said, no, we didn't say. You speak in a high sound. That looks so hard. I can't do that, and I cannot do that. So it's such a drama going on. However, but when it comes Sunday Gurdwara time, my throats become, okay, I'm going to go back, it's going to be weird. So it happens to you to understand every breath of life comes from God. And 15 times a minute, breath of life kisses you. That's the love of God for you. And He is the master, He is the boss. That's why in business is the boss. You don't understand business. You think business is yours. Hey, look you, headless. You think business is yours, right? It's my business. I started it. I made it. You are the biggest stupid living on the planet. Business is your boss. Business gives you money. It gives you maintenance. It gives you projection. It gives you acknowledgement. And because it is silent like God, you don't accept it as your boss. After a while, when you're successful, you go lazy. It's my business. I'll deal with anyway. Don't you say most of the time? bother me. Don't push me. It's my business. Business belongs to nobody. Everybody belongs to business. Do your business. Business is the boss. It's the silent boss. It will never speak, but it will do you in. Neglect your duty, your homage, your privilege, your answering to business. Don't keep the time. Don't keep the space. Don't keep the analysis. Don't understand the profile. Don't understand the scheme, projection and profile. Don't understand the cash flow. Don't understand the inventory. Don't understand the projection of the inventory. Don't read the weather report. Don't understand the fad and facets. You'll be done. Business is a very sweet, darling, well-featured woman. She hates to walk naked. And those of you who make Miss Business walk naked, you can do it once, but it will never come handy to you, ever. Take it or leave it. If you have a business appointment, it is absolutely a divine appointment. Your first business point is to Amrit Vela Sachana Vadaya Vichar Karmi Ave Kapada Nadri Mukduar. You are your own enemies. You are revengeful to yourself. You are angry with yourself. You are inhuman to yourself. Your first business is get up the ambrosial hour and read your banis and do your yoga. Unite yourself with your God. That's first thing. And what Nanak says, if you do that first business and keep your first appointment, you'll feel the path of liberation. It means all things will be taken care of and you shall also be covered. What your banks do, you give the bank manager so many parties and all that. He gives you credit line to cover you in your stupid time when you do not understand the cash flow and inventory, input and output of the business accounting. When you goof, you fall on the extended credit line. That's why you cater to that bank manager. And God promised you a long, infinite credit line. And you don't. You know what you do in the morning at the face of God? Somebody should do it to you. So you sit down in your chair in the office. I should come for an interview. I start doing this. You will keep me, huh? Will you? First thing you will press a button, call the security, throw me out of the office. And isn't God very tolerant? He keeps you still alive. Huh? Hey, what do you think you are? In the morning you, in the face of God, as His appointment time, when you have the direct right of interview, you snore at His face? Hey, you quilt lovers, you don't love a thing. I have found a name for you. Quilt lovers. When it's ambrosial hour, they kiss their pillow, put their face down into it, as this is the most affectionate love of their life, and put quilt over it. So nothing can go wrong. There are God lovers and there are quilt lovers. There are God lovers who want to live like Akal Murat Ajuni Sai Bangur Prasad. And there are other lovers, they want to live as they want to. Because those who love God, they hunt at infinity. Those who love themselves, they hunt on Maya. And once their hook get into Maya, they are done, they are cooked, it's over with. Once your hook get into infinity, God's come down and honors you. Life is fishing. Make your choice. It was, it is, and it shall be. It has never changed through time and space. It shall never change now, and it shall ever be. That's why Guru Nanak said, repeat, jap, one commandment only in the entire dharma. One commandment only. One. Repeat. Ad sach, jugad sach, hai bhi sach, Nanak, hosi bhi sach. Before the time it was true, Through the time it was true, now it is true, and Nanak, it shall be true. And when all is truth, what you can do? Stop your lies and lay your ego at the lotus feet of Almighty God. And you will start learning, and that is called Sikh. And that path of learning is called Sikh Dharma. And when that Dharma grows, then you become a Singh. But when your light grows to serve all in total purity, then you become Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Te, Gang. You pronounce it Te-gang. Teg, and when Teg is pronounced, the sound current of Gang. If you understand Ganga, the river Ganges, it is also called Ganga. Gango bhayo jamnaye sarasti ato se sumati swaha. So it is the same sound. Ja, te is the sound. Sata, nama, te is the sound of the sun. The totality, the life. Gang, the life's purity. And what Guru Gobind Singh did by recitation, he knew there shall be a time when you don't know where the calamity is coming. Where? Mostly we know where it's coming, and mostly we do not want to look at it. We avoid it. We feel because God is perfect and we are in His image, we always feel we are perfect. To make us feel perfect, we created two things, logic and reason. Logic and reason was created by man to justify his stupidity. Because man is not in a position to accept. God is, he doesn't want to accept, God is not. So, fact is that he is a creation of the perfect, so he says he is perfect. So prove that is perfect. He used the word and used the science of logic and reason to prove it. These two sciences are man-made, and they are made to say zirconium is diamond. Well, why doesn't it sell it at that rate? Or saying carbon is diamond. Carbon is, you get a 25-pound precious cylinder for about $50. And charcoal is the purest carbon. For 1 kilo, you can get it just for $1 or so. But diamond, when you go and they say, this is the pure gem quality VV1 diamond, and you say, what? $15,000 carat? You say, what? Then you start looking left and right. So, ja, te, gang. That one which is the purity of sun, the light. Guru is what removes the darkness and brings the light. This is the light, the purest light. That blue part of the flame is the purest light in the flame. But it shines with the impurity. That's Maya. You can see a candle, and you can understand the whole thing. It's total geometry and is absolutely physics. And you can know through the chemistry of it. There's a darker side of the flame inside, and then there's a cloudy side of the flame, then the heat side of the flame, and then outer part is the blue part of the. That's why purity always associated with blueness. Not the blueness what we talk about, but in the purest form it's blue, but when it goes to the further infinity of purity, it becomes white, because that contains 7 colors. So this Shabad, Guru Gobind Singh uttered for those who just wants to know where it is coming, and it cuts the source. Ramdas Kaur sings this many times, but she never understood why sometimes she gets into trouble. And she sings this very well. Her pronunciation is correct. But she forgets this Shabd lives in her. She should talk to it. She should adapt it. She should know it. She should project it. That's why I made her to do it. Just through these blind eyes to see how much the arc line can change. I'm satisfied. I couldn't even pronounce her name first time, but now I can call her Ramdas Kaur. I did it for my satisfaction as the chief religious authority of this dharma. I hope to be excused making your program little late and delaying it, but this was important. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Ardas, Ek Onkar, Sri Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh, Sri Bhagoti Ji Sahai, Var Sri Bhagoti Ji ki Patashai Dasmin, Pritam Bhagoti Simrike, Guru Nanak Lenti Ai, Fir Angad Guru Te Amrdas, Ramdas Se Hoy Sahai, Arjan Har Gobindano, Simaro Sri Harai, Sri Hare Krishna Di Aaye, Jis Ditte Sab Dukh Jai, Teg Bahara Simriye, Konanadit Avetai, Sabtai Hoy Sahai. Great, great is Guru Gobind Singh, protector of the faith, master of the unity, father of the Khalsa, may he protect us everywhere. The light of the 10 Gurus, the living Guru, the word of God and truth of truths. Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib, by meditating on its words, all sufferings vanish. Meditate, Khalsa Ji, Bolo Ji, Satanam. 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 4 sons of the 10th Master, the 5 beloved ones, the 40 liberated ones, the 4 holy thrones, all the dwelling places of the Guru. Meditate, Khalsa Ji, Bolo Ji, Satanam. 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 And those who were true to the Guru, who meditated on the Nam, who shared their earnings and sacrifice for righteousness, think of their deeds, O Khalsa Ji, Bolo Ji, Satanam. 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 And those brave martyrs, past and present, who were broken on the wheel, cut up limb by limb, who gave their scalps but not their hair, and those men and women who for the truth gave all that they had that this Dharma might live unto this day. Think of their courage and resignation. Khalsa Ji, Bolo Ji, Satanam. 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 Bless thy devotees that ever live in the righteousness of the true disciples. Give them the life of the living principle of the Guru's discipline. Grant them the insight, the trust, and the blessing of blessings, the Nam, and a sight, sip and dip in the nectar tank of Sri Hari Mandir Sahib. May all flags of the pure ones, seats of religious authority, forts, houses, ashrams, gurdwaras, and Sikh enterprises prevail through all time. Then call on God, Khalsa Ji Bolo Ji Satnam. Now let the whole Khalsa offer its prayer. Let the whole Khalsa remember the name. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. As we think of thee, so may we be blessed. O true King, O loved Father, it is by thy grace that we're here to bow before thy lotus feet, to meditate on thy Gurbani Kirtan and listen to thy divine hukam. May these things find a loving place in our hearts and serve to draw our souls towards thee. Save us, O Lord, from the 5 obstacles of lust, anger, greed, pride, and attachment. Keep us always and only attached to thy lotus feet. Grant to thy devotees the gift of Sikh Dharma, the gift of thy name, the gift of faith, of confidence in thee, and of reading and understanding thy holy word. O kind Father, O loving Father, it is by thy grace that we're here on the planet Earth at this time. Extend thy energies to our labors that we may do what is right according to thy will. Give us light and understanding so that we may know what pleases thee. Dear Lord, we come and bow our heads this morning before you to give humble thanks for another beautiful day of life. We thank you for bringing us together as a family in this divine Gurdwara and for allowing us to be here and meditate on thy divine Naam. We ask that you bless us to live our highest destiny, to give us the courage and the fortitude to go forward in this world, to be instruments of thy will, bringing harmony and peace to all whom we contact. We ask that you bless our children, that they may have the environments to reach their highest destinies, to become great, and to allow them to guide this planet to peace and harmony and love. We ask a very special blessing on our guide and teacher, Siddhi Singh Sahib, Bhai Sahib Harbhajan Singh Khalsa Yogi Ji, that you grant him environments of grace, dignity, and divinity always, that you protect his health 100% and allow him to heal 100% and to go forward on his mission here on the planet Earth. Grant him all the resources, opportunities, and entities, environments that he needs to successfully complete his mission. Bless this planet Earth with peace. May there be peace and love and perfection throughout all creation, O God. May there be peace and love and perfection throughout all creation, O God. We ask today that you bless on their wedding anniversaries Guru Ditta Singh and Himmat Kaur Khalsa, Guru Prem Singh and Simran Kaur. We ask that you bless them with radiance and happiness as married couples, that they learn to live for each other, that they serve each other with humility, love, and grace, and that they be your humble servants. Bless this soul of Himmat Kaur's great-grandfather who has passed. I don't know his name, but I'll chant a call for him. Please accept this soul unto thee in your divine grace, dignity, and divinity. And please bless Sat Shakti Singh on his birthday. I don't see a number here, but we ask that you bless him with a great year of divine grace, service unto the Guru, prosperity, and happiness. Please bless this Kara Prasad, which has been placed before thee. In tasting it, may we remember the sweetness of chanting thy holy Naam, and that all things come from you, and all things, including us, must one day return to you. Forgive any errors or omissions in this ardas. Continue to forgive us our transgressions. Help us that we may keep ourselves pure. And let us be in the company of men and women of love, that we may remember thy name in their presence. Through Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh, may thy name forever increase, and the spirit be exalted, and may all people prosper by thy grace. Nanak Naam Chaiti Kala Teri Bani Sarbat Dalala. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Agnya ve akal ki tabin chalayo panta, sabse kakmo kamaye Guru maniyo granta, Guru Granth Ji maniyo barkat kara ki de, jo prabhu ko meram bojare, go shabn mele, राज करे खा खालसा की रहे ना कोई गवाए सब मिलेंगे बचे शरण जाओए राज करे खा खालसा की रहे ना कोई गवाए सब मिलेंगे बचे शरण जाओए बोले सो निहाल वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰੱਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਸੋ ਕਹੋ ਅਟਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਸੇਵੀਏ ਐਨਸ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਪਰਸੀਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੇ ਜਨਮ ਮਰਨ ਦੁਖ ਜਾਏ ਹੋਵੇ ਸਿਫਤ ਖਸਮ ਦੀ ਨੂਰ ਅਰਸੋ ਕੁਰਸੋ ਚਟਿਐ ਤੁਧ ਡਿਠੇ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਮਲ ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਦੀ ਕਟਿਐ ਸੱਜਣ ਸੱਚਾ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸਿਰ ਸ਼ਾਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਾਹੋ ਜਿਸ ਪਾਸ ਬੈਠਿਆ ਸੋਈ ਹੈ ਸਭਨਾ ਦਾ ਵਿਸਾਹੋ ਜਿਸ ਪਾਸ ਬੈਠਿਆ ਸੋਈ ਹੈ ਸਭਨਾ ਦਾ ਵਿਸਾਹੋ ਗੁਜਰੀ ਮਹਲਾ ਪੰਜਵਾਂ ਘਰ ਦੂਜਾ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਰਾਜਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਜਾ ਕਹੀਐ ਪੂਮਨ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਮਾ ਠਾਕੁਰ ਮੈਂ ਠਕੁਰਾਈ ਤੇਰੀ ਕੋਮਨ ਸਿਰ ਕੋਮਾ ਰਾਜਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਜਾ ਕਹੀਐ ਪੂਮਨ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਮਾ ਠਾਕੁਰ ਮੈਂ ਠਕੁਰਾਈ ਤੇਰੀ ਕੋਮਨ ਸਿਰ ਕੋਮਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੜੋ ਤਨੀ ਅਗਮਾ ਉਸਤਤ ਕਵਨ ਕਰੀਜੈ ਕਰਤੇ ਪੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਬਿਸਮਾ ਰਹਾਓ ਸੁਖੀਅਨ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਖੀਆ ਤੂੰ ਕਹੀਐ ਦਾਤਨ ਸਿਰ ਦਾਤਾ ਤੇਜਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਜਵੰਸੀ ਕਹੀਐ ਰਸਿयन ਮੈਂ ਰਾਤਾ ਸੂਰਨ ਮੈਂ ਸੂਰਾ ਤੂੰ ਕਹੀਐ ਭੋਗਨ ਮੈਂ ਭੋਗੀ ਗ੍ਰਸਤਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੂੰ ਬੜੋ ਗ੍ਰਸਤੀ ਜੋਗਨ ਮੈਂ ਜੋਗੀ ਕਰਤਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੂੰ ਕਰਤਾ ਕਹੀਐ ਆਚਾਰਨ ਮੈਂ ਆਚਾਰੀ ਸਾਹਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਚਾ ਸਾਹਾ ਵਪਾਰਨ ਮੈਂ ਵਪਾਰੀ ਦਰਬਾਰਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੋ ਦਰਬਾਰਾ ਸਰਨ ਪਾਲਨ ਟੀਕਾ ਲਖਮੀ ਕੇਤਕ ਗਨੀ ਨ ਜਾਈਐ ਗਨ ਨਾ ਸਕੋ ਸੀਕਾ ਨਾਮਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੋ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਨਾਮਾ ਗਿਆਨਨ ਮੈਂ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਜੁਗਤਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜੁਗਤਾ ਇਸਨਾਨਨ ਮੈਂ ਇਸਨਾਨੀ ਸਿੱਧਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਕਰਮਨ ਸਿਰ ਕਰਮਾ ਆਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਗਿਆ ਹੁਕਮਨ ਸਿਰ ਹੁਕਮਾ ਜਿਉ ਬੁਲਾਵੇ ਤਿਉ ਬੋਲੇ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕਵਨ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਸ ਗਾਇਓ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੀ ਅਤ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਜੋ ਬੁਲਾਵੇ ਤਿਉ ਬੋਲੇ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕਵਨ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਸ ਗਾਇਓ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੀ ਅਤ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Gujari, fifth channel of truth. There is but one God, by true Guru's grace he has obtained. Among kings thou art called the king, and amidst landlords thou art the landlord. Amongst kings thou art called the king, and amidst landlords thou art the landlord. Among lords, thine is the overlordship, and among races, thine is the supreme race. My Father is exceedingly wealthy and unknowable Master. What praise of thine, O Creator, should I narrate? Beholding thee, I am astonishingly pleased. Pause. Among the peaceful, thou art called the most peaceful, and among the givers, the supreme giver. Of the grandees, thou art said to be the great grandee, and of the relishers, the supreme relisher. Amidst the warriors, thou art called the great warrior, and amidst enjoyer, the great enjoyer. Among householders, thou art the great householder, and among yogis, the great yogi. Amongst builders, thou art called the great maker, and amongst ritualists, the great ritualist. Thou art the true banker among the bankers, and the supreme merchant among merchants. Of all the courts, thine is the true court, and amongst the protection givers, thou art the supreme. How much is thy wealth cannot be measured, and thine coins I cannot count. Amongst names, thy name, O Lord, is the most sublime, and among divines, thou art the great divine. Of the ways, thy way is the best, O Lord, and of the bathers, thou art the best bather. Among miracles, thine, O Lord, is the best miracle, and among deeds, thine deed is the noblest. In all the wills, thy will, O Lord, is the supreme, and in commands, thine is the overriding command. As thou causest me to speak, so do I speak, O my Master, else what power do I have to speak? In the saint society, which is very dear to the Lord, Nanak has sung his praises. As thou causest me to speak, so do I speak, O my Master, else what power do I have to speak? In the saint society, which is very dear to the Lord, Nanak has sung his praises. Vaheguru Ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki fateh.
Sabas kana ko hukama hai. Sabas kana ko hukama hai. Sabas kana ko hukama hai. Guru mani akranta, Guru mani akranta, Guru mani akranta. Ek onkar Vaheguru, Ek onkar Vaheguru, Ek onkar Vaheguru. Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru. Karta Purkh Vaheguru, Karta Purkh Vaheguru, Karta Purkh Vaheguru, Karta Purkh Vaheguru. Nirbhav Vaheguru, Nirbhav Vaheguru, Nirbhav Vaheguru, Nirbhav Vaheguru, Nirvair Vaheguru, Nirvair Vaheguru, Nirvair Vaheguru, Nirvair Vaheguru. Kal Murth Vaheguru, Akal Murth Vaheguru, Kal Murth Vaheguru, Akal Murth Vaheguru. Ajuni Sabang Vaheguru, Juni Sabang Vaheguru, Ajuni Sabang Vaheguru, Ajuni Sabang Vaheguru. Gur Prasad Vaheguru, Gur Prasad Vaheguru, Gur Prasad Vaheguru, Gur Prasad Vaheguru. Japa Japa Vaheguru, 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 सच वाहेगुरु जुगाद सच वाहेगुरु जुगाद सच वाहेगुरु जुगाद सच वाहेगुरु जुगाद सच वाहेगुरु है भी सच वाहेगुरु है भी सच वाहेगुरु है भी सच वाहेगुरु है भी सच वाहेगुरु नानक होसी भी सच वाहेगुरु नानक होसी भी सच वाहेगुरु होसी भी सच वाहेगुरु नानक